Hi, and welcome to Ivy English. I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is September 20th, and we're on page 53 of the magazine. And today we're talking about Captivating Cannes, History of the Film Festival. Now, this word, C-A-N-N-E-S, it's a French word, and therefore, in French, basically, you only pronounce 1/5 of the vowel and almost never the ending. That's the rule for French. So that's a joke, but it's also kind of true. If you ask French people this, they laugh. So it must be true. But the way that you pronounce Cannes, I looked it up on the internet, and the French people say Cannes, which sounds hard to say properly. And then the British people say Cannes, so I'm going to say Cannes. But I have always pronounced it in my head as Cannes, which is wrong. Do not pronounce it like that. But I didn't know, because I'm like, how do you pronounce French? Okay, so Captivating Cannes.
好，所以我们这个中文标题呢是坎城影展魅力无限。那这坎城这个字原来当然是法文，那法文有法文的念法，英文有英文的念法，不过这个基本上你不会念成 Cannes， 不是这样念的，所以这个字呢中文音还蛮准的，坎，所以坎城影展。
I'm going to say French has a lot of really ridiculous spellings with letters that apparently aren't necessarily, but they are still more logical and consistent than English. Because French, they're all pronounced the same. If they're going to change the pronunciation of the letter, they put a little mark on top of it to let you know. And it's always the same. Whereas English is like, well, if there's an O, sometimes it's changed. But if there's a GH, sometimes it's changed. But sometimes an OUGH and an OUGH are going to be pronounced completely differently. You get used to it, okay? So like English, okay? I mean, I complain a lot about French because French created a lot of our English spelling problems, but the French are more consistent, at least, with their pronunciation.
Yeah, 好，所以这个法文呢，这个有时候有些字母不发音啊，什么等等的，好像很复杂。但是 Angela 老师说，他的记者也根据他的经验呢，法文的发音其实比英文规律，就是字母就是念这个声音，如果不是的话，它会有一些符号告诉你这个地方念的不一样。但是英文的话，大家都知道嘛，同一个字母在不同的字里面，它的发音常常会变。
Yeah. Okay, so here's our article. On the beautiful coast of southern France sits Cannes, home to the prestigious movie festival that awarded classic films like Taxi Driver, Apocalypse Now, La Dolce Vita, and Parasite with its highest honor, the Palme d'Or. Recognized as one of the big 5 film festivals, alongside Venice, Berlin, Toronto, and Sundance, Cannes Film Festival is held annually with all the glitz and glamour of the red carpet. Originally called the International Film Festival, Cannes was established as a response to political interference in the Venice Film Festival by Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini. Propaganda films from their respective countries won in the 1938 Film Festival, so Cannes was created as an impartial platform for celebrating films from the world over. When the first festival was held on September 20th, 1946, representatives from over 20 countries were in attendance, with a range of films presented from around the world. The iconic Palme d'Or was introduced in 1955 to reward film-making excellence, becoming the festival's highest prize. Every year, a small jury of distinguished film industry professionals from diverse backgrounds evaluates a curated selection of international films. Winning the Golden Palm not only boosts a film's reputation and usually leads to commercial success, but it also serves as the ultimate recognition for directors, marking them as masters of their craft. For filmmakers, actors, and cinephiles, attending Cannes is a pilgrimage that provides insight into the latest trends, new talent, and the full scope of the cinematic world. The festival's lasting legacy has shaped the film industry, honoring the global impact of storytelling through cinema. Cannes and the Palme d'Or showcase creativity, cultural exchange, and artistic distinction, cementing their place in the history of cinema. You know, that's interesting. I did not know that it was started as basically a protest of fascism and propaganda.
Yeah, 好，所以
So
蛮
it
有
was
趣
like the original alternative film festival, which became canon.
Yeah, 好，所以这个今天我了解到，原来坎城影展一开始的时候其实是要抗议评审不公，抗议另外一个影展的评审不公。Yeah.
Okay, so on the beautiful coast of southern France sits Cannes. Now, southern France is the ultimate vacation destination because it's basically beach central for the French. But it's also very hot and dry and dusty and Mediterranean. So like you think it's going to be beautiful and green. It's not. It's beach country. So, but anyways, everyone's like, oh, the south of France. Ooh, we should go, you know. So Cannes is there, and that means that when you go to Cannes, you also get to go to the south of France, which, you know, if you're rich, you can go to the really nice places that the south of France has. I went there as a poor person, and it was not nearly as much fun, okay? That's what I'm saying. Anyway, so Cannes is home to the prestigious movie festival that awarded classic films like Taxi Driver, Apocalypse Now, La Dolce Vita, and Parasite with its highest honor. It's weird because highest, you say the H, and honor you don't. So it's like highest honor. Anyways, it's the Palme d'Or. The Golden Palm is the highest honor. If you have ever seen movie titles with like little like leaves around it, that's what they're indicating. They're indicating that it won the Palme d'Or. But it's become like such a like trope now that people will just put these little leaves around anything and it just looks more special.
Oh, yeah.
And so we think of it as the special leaves. But it's supposed to indicate the golden palm, like that they won this high honor.
好，所以呢，我们看到这个句子，他一开始他讲呢，在这个 on the beautiful coast 美丽的海岸线 of southern France 法国南部那个美丽的海岸线上，那刚刚这个 Angel 老师讲到说，这个南法是一个大家心目中很理想的度假的地方，但是那种地方呢，其实你有钱人去才会非常享受了啊，你如果这个穷学生去的话呢，你会有完全不同的体验。
Yes.
好，所以呢，各位等有钱了再去南法玩啊，那个 makes a big difference 啊。然后呢
，Please have money first.
然后呢，在这个地方呢 ，sits 就是坐落于，那这个其实就倒过来，这个其实主词是这个坎城，应该是这 Cannes sits on the beautiful coast of southern France， 原来是这样子，但因为他要强调它的位置，所以把这个 on 这个地方副词片语移到句首了。好，所以坎城坐落于或者位于法国南部这个美丽的海岸线上。那同时他要这样做，另外有一个原因是因为他要开始，他后面还要修饰这个 Cannes 这个坎城这个东西，所以如果这样子的话呢，坎城后面打个逗点，直接就可以把它的同位语放进去了，所以这样子就很容易接。所以坎城是什么东西呢？它同位语告诉你它是 home to， 就是它是什么什么的家，也就这里有这个东西，就是在这里的意思。什么东西在这里呢？就是 the prestigious， 就是享有盛誉的，这个很有名的，而且感觉起来是蛮有地位的，这个叫做 prestigious。 esteemed 它同义字 E-S-T-E-E-M-E-D E-S-T-E-E-M-E-D， 所以这个享有盛誉的一个 movie festival 就是一个影展。那这个有名的这个享有盛誉的影展怎么样呢？继续修饰它 that 就指这个影展，它 awarded 就是给予奖项，给谁奖项呢？给这些 classic films，就是经典的影片，他给这些经典的影片怎么样？例如什么经典影片呢？例如 Taxi Driver 就是计程车司机，然后 Apocalypse Now 就是现代启示录，那下面这个呢 La Dolce Vita 这个是生活的甜蜜，还有呢 Parasite 就是寄生上流。他给这些经典的影片怎么样？ Awarded them with something， 就是拿这个东西去给予他们奖项，所以换句话说，就这些电影他们被 awarded， 他们得到了什么奖项呢？得到了这个 its 就是指这个影展它的 highest honor 最高的荣誉，就是金棕榈奖。
Recognized as one of the big 5 film festivals, alongside Venice, Berlin, Toronto, and Sundance, Cannes Film Festival is held annually. It's held every year with all the glitz and glamour of the red carpet. So because, you know, the south of France is considered the playground of the rich, so of course it's going to be very glitzy and glamorous to go. So they have a really big show. But I mean, every one of the film festivals loves to have this kind of glamorous entrance for all their movie stars that are coming. The only one that can't really do that is Sundance, because Sundance is held in the mountains and in the winter when it's cold. So you can't be glamorous. Everyone's wearing ski parkas. So, and Toronto too, not really glamorous. But the other 3 tend to really pour on the glitz.
好，所以呢 recognized as 就它被视为 one of the big 5 film festivals 5大影展之一，所以这个坎城影展是5大影展之一。那后面呢继续告诉你是 alongside 本来是 side by side with 的意思，那在这里呢其实它跟中文的和什么什么齐名意思很像，因为他们是5个是排在一列的，就它其中一个是坎城，所以坎城影展跟其他另外4个呢是 alongside 是大家并列的，也就是齐名的意思，所以这中文跟英文之间关系大家可以去思考一下，很有趣。所以它跟谁齐名呢？跟威尼斯影展、跟柏林影展、跟多伦多影展、跟日舞影展都一样的，大家都并列的。所以呢坎城影展呢 is held annually 每年都会举办，那 with all the glitz and glamour of the red carpet。 好的 red carpet 就是那个红地毯，那 glitz 这个字呢就是华丽耀眼，那这个字呢这个英文的解释蛮有趣的，它说解释这 glitz 就是 ostentatious showiness， 蛮有趣的。
I just associate glitz with like fake gold sequins.
所以这个Angela 说她想到 glitz 想到就是那个假的金，亮晶晶的，可是是假的黄金。那我刚刚讲到 ostentatious 这个字蛮大的，但是其实我蛮喜欢这个 somehow 这个字 sounds really great ostentatious.
Well, it is.
因為它這個
It's like over the top.
就 over the top 它本身就是很誇張的意思 ostentatious.
It's an over-the-top word to describe an over-the-top situation.
没错，所以这个字它的意思跟它的长相非常的合ostentatious 听起来就很夸张那种感觉，很 showy 的意思。好，那个 glamour 就是魅力，所以红毯有那很华丽耀眼又有魅力所以它每年都举办，而且每一次大家都注意到非常耀眼华丽。
So it was originally called the International Film Festival.So, and it was held at Cannes. But, I mean, International Film Festival is kind of a, like, you don't know where the name is from. Like, there's too many of them. So then they switched their name to call themselves Cannes Film Festival so that people will know. Anyways, Cannes was established as a response to political interference in the Venice Film Festival. So the Venice Film Festival is much older.And at the time, Adolf Hitler, the dictator, and Benito Mussolini. So Adolf Hitler was the dictator of Germany, and Benito Mussolini was the dictator of Italy. And they were both fascist movements, which is like total political control movements. And they were trying to interfere with what was being said at the Venice Film Festival. They successfully interfered. And so the people who started Cannes were like, yeah, that's not on. Let's do another one.
好，所以这个句子一开始是个分词构句 originally called 它原来被称为 the International Film Festival 就是国际电影影展，那这是分词构句，那主词在后面坎城影展 was established 它被创立 as a response to 是作为一个反应，就是回应什么东西呢 political interference 就是政治的介入，政治的干涉，在这个威尼斯影展是谁介入干涉这个威尼斯影展呢？就是希特勒跟墨索里尼。当然因为这个威尼斯在意大利嘛，墨索里尼是那个时候意大利的独裁者，他的好朋友就是希特勒，所以他们两个人呢就一起把手伸进了威尼斯影展。有一些电影人看不过去，所以他们就另外这个弄了一个坎城的这个国际电影影展，分庭抗礼。
So what was the thing that made these people upset enough to start their own film festival? Well, what happened was propaganda films from their respective countries. So we mentioned Hitler from Germany and Mussolini from Italy. So these two different countries. So films from each of these countries, from each of these respective countries, they won, but they're propaganda films. They're not real film. There's no real artistry unless like they were just really good at their propaganda. But no one wants a propaganda film to win a film festival. And that's what happened in 1938. And that made enough people angry to start their own thing. So Cannes was created as an impartial platform. Impartial means they're not going to be influenced by politics. And so it's an impartial platform for celebrating films from the world over. They didn't want just French films. They wanted films from everywhere. And they wanted films that they wanted to celebrate for just being good at film and for no other reason.
好，所以呢，这个希特勒、墨索里尼他们这些独裁者当然很喜欢做这种宣传电影的 propaganda films， 但是他们 respective 就各自来自这个希特勒还有来自墨索里尼他们的国家所拍摄的宣传电影呢，就赢得了1938年的威尼斯影展的很多奖项。所以呢，坎城影展就是 was created， 大家就办这个坎城影展 as an important platform， 作为一个重要的平台 给谁呢？给这些真的是要 celebrating， 他们是真的，这个平台是真的是要来颂扬歌颂 films from the world over， 从全世界来的电影。因为这个显然在那个时候他们觉得威尼斯影展政治意味太浓了，所以他们就另外办了一个影展，全世界都可以来参加，而且他们比较公平。
Now, when the first festival was held, it was a few years later. So 1938 is when people got angry, but they didn't get their stuff together because it's not easy to just put a film festival together. When they finally got it together, it was September 20th, 1946. And this is, of course, after the war ended, because you remember there was a war going on during that time. That may also have been part of the reason why they didn't immediately do a new film festival next year. So at this 1946 film festival, representatives, people from over 20 countries were in attendance. So they really started off big. And with a range of films presented from really around the world. They got what they wanted.
所以当第一届的这个影展 was held 举行，在1946年9月20号举行的时候呢， representatives 就代表来自于20个国家的代表 were in attendance. To be in attendance 就是来参加的意思。那 with a range of films 他们有这个电影的范围呢，事实上 a range of films 其实在这里指的就是 a variety of films 就是各式各样的电影 presented from around the world 是来自于全世界各地的电影都来参加了。
So the iconic Palme d'Or was introduced in 1955. So 14 years after it started, they came up with this idea of having this Golden Palm Award. And this is to reward filmmaking excellence. So it's not like best actor, best director. It's like overall, this was a really great film. And it's only for the really good ones. And so it became, of course, the festival's highest prize. If you got the Palme d'Or, everyone was like, yep, gonna watch that movie because clearly it's good.
好 The iconic 就具有代表性的这个金棕榈奖呢 was introduced 被推出是在1955年推出的 To reward 是给予奖励，奖励什么东西呢？奖励的是 filmmaking excellence 就是电影制作的上面的杰出表现。那这个奖呢 becoming 这个是分词，这个奖推出之后就成为这个影展的 highest prize 最高的奖项。
Every year, a small jury, so a small panel of experts and a panel of like distinguished film industry professionals, people who are good at their jobs and recognizably so. And from diverse backgrounds, they're not all the same kind of people, evaluates a curated selection of international films. So what's a curated selection? They're not looking at all the films. A bunch of films have already been selected for them, and they look at this, what's called a shortlist. They look at this short list of films and go, okay, this is what we want to, these are who we want to honor.
好，所以呢，这个每一年 a small jury 一个小小的这个评审团 of 就是评审团的成员是怎么样 distinguished 就是很杰出的 film industry professionals 就是电影业的一些专业人士，杰出电影业专业人士所组成的一个小小的评审团呢，而且这些专业人士是 from diverse backgrounds 是来自于很不同的背景，所以这样子才有不同的声音。这样的一个评审团 evaluates 他们会评估 a curated selection of international films 好，一个 a curated selection of curated 就是收集来的，那 selection 就是经挑选过的一群，所以这个地方其实就是 a curated selection of something 就是精心挑选的。那其实就坎城影展他们会有一个 short list 就会先入围等等的，那这些都是国际的影片，所以他们精选一些影片，然后由这个评审团来好好的去里面看谁最好。
So winning the Golden Palm not only boosts a film's reputation, everyone's like, ooh, that must be good, and usually leads to commercial success, meaning they can actually sell their movies to movie theaters and make money on it. But it also serves as the ultimate recognition for directors. It's really a laurel that you can add to your name. It's a credential. And it marks them as masters of their craft, because you have to be really good to win this prize, basically.
Yeah, 所以呢，这句话的主词是个动名词片语 winning the Golden Palm 就赢得这个金棕榈奖呢 not only 不仅仅会 boosts a film's reputation boost 就是提振提升一个电影的名气 reputation 而且呢它同时这个 usually 通常会 leads to 会 会导致 commercial success， 就是商业的成功，就表示这个电影通常就会更卖钱。不但是这样子呢， but it also 它同时也 serves as 它有这个功能，它作为一个 the ultimate recognition 一个最高的肯定 recognition 在这里就是肯定，最高的肯定，对谁的肯定呢？对于这个导演的最高肯定。好 marking them 就指这些导演，就会标示这些导演 as 标示他们的身份是什么呢？是 masters of their craft 就是他们的这一行这一业或者他们这个技艺，也就是说你得了这个奖就表示这些导演呢就是他们导演这个 craft 这个行业里面的 masters 大师。
So for filmmakers, actors, and cinephiles, attending Cannes is a pilgrimage. A pilgrimage is a religious journey, basically. You go on a pilgrimage to celebrate your gods. And so going to Cannes is a pilgrimage that provides insight into the latest trends. It gives you new talent, and it gives you the full scope of the cinematic world. You get to see everything that's going on because they have looked at everything, presumably.
好，所以呢，对于这个电影制片人，对于演员，还有这个 cinephiles， 就是这个电影迷来讲呢，参加坎城影展是一个 pilgrimage， 是一个朝圣之旅。那这个朝圣之旅可以提供 insights into。provides insight into 就是可以让你深入了解 insight 就是洞见，看得很深的这种深刻的了解，所以它会让你很了解怎么样 the latest trends 最新的趋势， new talent 就是新的人才，还有 the full scope of the cinematic world 还有这个电影世界的 full scope 就整个范围，就让你知道这个整个电影世界有哪些事情发生，有哪些好的电影等等的。
So the festival's lasting legacy has shaped the film industry, honoring the global impact of storytelling through cinema. This sentence is a good example of what's called boilerplate. It doesn't really have any particular meaning, but it sounds good and it pads out the ending. This is a talent that you can have as a writer to make just something, it just feels good to have it there. We're still saying nice things about Cannes without really saying anything that we haven't already said.
好，那这个句子呢作为结尾是不错的哈，它其实没有告诉我们什么新的资讯，但它把之前讲的把它用很漂亮的句子很美的文字把它稍微总和了一下，所以我们看到他说这一个影展它的 lasting legacy 就是一个历久不衰的传承，或者它的遗产，或者它的影响 has shaped the film industry，这形塑了电影业这个东西，同时它 honoring 它向谁致敬呢？向这个 the global impact of 就是全世界的影响力。什么东西全世界影响力呢？ storytelling 就是说故事的影响力，而且是 storytelling through cinema， 透过电影来说故事。也就是说它向这件事情致敬。什么事情致敬呢？就是透过电影说故事所带来的全球影响，它向这个东西致敬，就表示电影是很重要，所以它用来向它致敬。
And then our final concluding sentence is, Cannes and the Palme d'Or showcase creativity, cultural exchange, and artistic distinction, cementing their place in the history of cinema. So basically, it's just summing everything up. It's like Cannes, the festival, and Palme d'Or, this award. They showcase, they show us what is creativity. They show us cultural exchange. They show different people exchanging their cultures and sharing their cultures. And it gives us artistic distinction. It gives us high-quality artistic product and output. And so cementing their place means putting somebody in their permanent and final glorified place in the history of cinema. It's creating history. So, yeah, it's a good summary of the article.Yeah,
好，所以这是个很好的结尾。好的，坎城影展还有这金棕榈奖呢 ，showcase 就是展示 ，display 或者 exhibit。creativity 它展示的创造力 ，cultural exchange 展示的文化交流，还有呢展示的 artistic distinction 艺术上的卓越。然后呢 cement 这个字呢就是巩固的意思 ，consolidate C-O-N-S-O-L-I-D-A-T-E 巩固了他们的地位 ，cementing their place。在哪里的地位呢？在电影历史上的地位 in the history of cinema， 因为你得过坎城影展的奖呢，这个都会在电影史上留名的。
So I think doing a conclusion is really the hardest part of an article, and I think she did a really beautiful job here. It feels poetic, it feels satisfying, it feels like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, 所以这篇的这个结尾写得蛮漂亮的。
Now we have 2 questions here for you. The first of which, why was Cannes Film Festival created in the first place?
好，那坎城影展为什么一开始会设立这个影展呢
And the answer is because there was political interference in the neighboring Venice Film Festival by Adolf Hitler of Germany and Benito Mussolini of Italy. And they wanted to create an impartial platform for celebrating films from everywhere in the world.
好，那因为那个当时二战期间呢，这个在威尼斯影展受到政治的一些影响，造成一些不公平的现象，所以他们为了要应对这样一个不公平的影展呢，所以他们就设立了坎城影展。
And number 2, who is responsible for choosing the winner of the Palme d'Or?
好，那谁是负责要选择金棕榈奖的得主呢？
And the answer is a small jury, a small panel of experts, a small jury of distinguished film industry professionals from diverse backgrounds. That's the key. There's different people from many different places.
答案是背景不同的电影专业人士所组成一个小的评审团。
Okay, so that's all we have for you about Cannes. But, you should pay attention to the product of Cannes because sometimes there's some really interesting films that come out of there. So, that's all we have for you today. But please join us again next time for more Ivy English. Until then, bye-bye.